Hey y'all, Yosh here, and I finally am able to talk about the Steam Deck. So I actually got the Steam Deck about 5 weeks ago or so. But besides making a video about it, I decided to just enjoy it. I feel like whenever we get really involved in the YouTube space, especially as creators, we want to instantly, unbox it, show it off to our community, and all this stuff. But the Steam Deck is something that I just wanted for myself, and I've been absolutely loving the device. So basically, this video is just me telling you, what I like about the device, what I feel like can be improved upon, but also just to kind of give you an overview of just what the device is. I'm not going to do like size comparisons or anything like that, but I will go over what I really enjoy about just the handheld in general, and then of course we'll go into what I like about the interface and everything like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show off the device and just, kind of go over what you would expect receiving a Steam Deck, and then what I feel like is the really high points of the device as well. So here it is right here. The number one thing that I loved about this device, the instant that I picked it up, is the ergonomics. I really thought this device, being as weighty and kind of heavy as it is for a handheld device, I was expecting to get a mild discomfort after maybe an hour or so of playing the device. But it's safe to say I've played Cyberpunk 2077 in the entirety on this device, and I was playing 5, 6, 7 hour sessions without realizing sometimes, without any hand fatigue, and that goes largely to do in the backside. It has really ergonomic grips, and especially I have pretty big hands as well. So holding the device and playing it, the placement of the thumbsticks, the D-pad, the face buttons is all perfect. I will say though, sometimes it is kind of uncomfortable moving over to the D-pad, especially if I'm like playing. I mostly play like this, grip like this. So moving over to the D-pad offers some discomfort to me. But the cool thing is that the trackpad also acts as a D-pad whenever you play games, so you can use that as the D-pad as well. The buttons are very well designed and they feel great. Like I said, the thumbstick placements are amazing and they feel great. You're gonna get dead zones that you would usually get with devices, but I really like the thumbsticks on this device. Then you have your two trackpads. This acts as a mouse cursor, or you can make this act as a mouse cursor. It's whichever one that you decide. What I really enjoy is whenever I'm playing first-person shooters is to use the trackpad to kind of help with my aiming. It offers some pretty precise aiming, if I do say so myself. And then on the top we have, our LR, left trigger, right triggers. Pretty standard. I really enjoy the way these feel. They, like I said, they will put a lot of care into this device on how it feels and operates. Then you have your volume up and down here. You have a headphone jack, but the cool thing is that this also includes Bluetooth, so you can use Bluetooth headphones, USB-C charging port, and a power button. And then on the back right here, we have our pretty much our hotkeys. And I really enjoy using these hotkeys for using as my D-pad. So there's certain games I play where you have to use the D-pad pretty regularly to switch and use items and things like that. So it's fun. It's good when you're playing a game, and so when you're holding it, you have your fingers kind of like this naturally, and you don't push the sides. You push up here when you press the buttons. So you're not going to have a lot of accidental presses or anything like that. It'll just be boop 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 boop. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain unless you actually have the device in your hand. And then of course this is the exhaust fan as well. This will put out a lot of heat depending on the game that you're playing. And then there's also some venting on the back right here. Another thing that I really like about this device is the matte finish. You know, a lot of in the handheld space, if you've been involved in it for as long as I have, one of the things is when they have that glossy finishes, which is just a fingerprint magnet. I love the matte finish because you can hardly see the fingerprints. You can kind of see some of the, you know, the streaks here, but it's not nearly as bad as it could be. And then you have your Steam button. This operates kind of like as your, you know, Xbox or PlayStation button. And then this opens up your properties. It's kind of like a quick menu. It's really good to use whenever you're playing, you know, games and stuff like that. So now I'm going to turn it on and kind of just give you an overview of what the interface is. If you've used Steam's big picture mode before, you'll kind of know, you know, what it looks like. So right here is kind of like the main menu whenever you start it up. It'll have your recent games. As you can see, some of these games I kind of have been testing. Some are new to the library. Some are ones that I just have in my regular rotation of games. So this will just be, you know, your recent games menu. It's really good. It's really easy to kind of, you know, just get to a game that you were playing before. And then you'll have your what's new menu where it'll show all the updates of the games that you own. And then recently updated on the device, it'll just show everything that recently updated, whether you were paying attention or not. And then, so like I said, the Steam menu opens up the menu, or you can use the touchscreen right here, whichever you'd rather. You have your home, library, store, friends and chat, media download settings, and power options. So if you want to kind of go through your Steam library, you go here, and this will show me all my games. It'll show me what's great on the deck. So all these games that's great on the deck is all deck verified. You're pretty much able to just install these games and play them instantly. When you go to all games, there's certain filters that you have. You can have verified only, verified and playable, verified, playable, and untested, or all games. So verified and playable is kind of like where you want to be whenever you're going through games on here. But to be honest, a lot of the untested games are able to play on this device as well with a little bit of tinkering. And even games with that's crossed out, if you saw on my main menu here, on my home menu, right here, Shenmue 1 and 2, it has, you know, whenever you look at this, you'll think that it's not compatible. It says unsupported. All it says is Valve indicates that this title is unsupported. Some or all of this game currently doesn't function on the Steam Deck. They're still working on additional support for the game. The game worked flawlessly. So, you know, I was a big fan of Shenmue on the original PlayStation, so it's really cool to be able to go back and kind of play it on this device as well. But let's go back to the library here, and then you'll have your installed games. These are all the games that are kind of in my rotation right now. Right now I'm in the middle of playing Chorus, which is a really cool shooter. I'm going to kind of have that as some B-roll footage for you to see. Deus Ex, I'm going back and playing through Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, and, you know, some other games as well. And another cool feature that's on this device is the desktop mode. So if you hold the power button down, you'll be able to go down and you'll be able to go switch to desktop mode. When you press this button, it'll switch to desktop, and it'll take a bit for it to kind of move over and switch over. But once it does, you'll be able to kind of operate this as a desktop. As you see, it actually didn't take as long as it could have. And then, so this is where, like I said, you can use your mouse, and then if you push down on it, doesn't seem like it's working, but you can use R2 as well. So boom, and then you can kind of use that as kind of as your fun thing, your fun mouse. I just wanted to show you this part because you can use it. It is Linux, it's not Windows, but it's pretty simple to kind of use and everything like that. I'm going to go back to the gaming mode, and we're going to open up some games, and I'm going to show you kind of some options that you have as well whenever you use this device. So here is Session. This is one of my favorite games to kind of like just tinker around and just play. To me, it's a perfect game to I just fell because I'm trying to talk at the same time. It's the perfect game just to kind of play, and then oh my gosh, I'm showing my true skill here. It's like I said, it's the perfect game to play and just kind of just turn your mind off and never push Mongo, by the way, just to kind of turn your mind off and enjoy. I really like how far this game has come. If you've been following the channel for quite some time, you know that I was a big fan of Skater XL, and this game kind of exceeded that in every way it could, which I think it's largely in part due to teaming up with Adult Swim Games, and then, you know, of course, the hard work that the developers put into making it a solid skate sim. So with this game, I'm going to open up this menu right here that I was telling you about. This is your quick settings. So you can quickly adjust your brightness, audio, everything like that from here. But what you really want to pay attention to is your performance setting. This will give you your projected battery life playing this game, and it'll also give you your performance overlay. So what you can do is you can put this up if you want. So right now it's running at 40 because I actually have the frame rate and refresh rate down to 40 for this game. Because I noticed with having it at 60, it kind of stuttered. And I don't really like losing my graphical fidelity a lot, so I rather kind of lower the frame rate over, I'd rather lower the frame rate and enjoy the graphical fidelity if it's a game that's not competitive, which Session is not a competitive game. So as you can see, I have my 40 here, and you can also change the overlay. So here it'll show your GPU, CPU, and your battery. This will show your VRAM, your RAM along with that. And then 4 will show all your cores and stuff like that. So if you really want to benchmark things and kind of, you know, test it out, you know, you're more than welcome to do that. It kind of pushes the GPU to kind of its limit. About 84-90% is kind of where we're floating at here. But you know, it's a great device, man. I love this thing so much, and it kind of changed my gaming habits because, you know, being a dad, you know, spending time with my son is very important. And then, of course, being a husband, and being with my wife sometimes, you know, sometimes I don't want to be in my computer. I want to like lay down next to my wife while she reads and I play video games. And I feel like this game is for that individual. This game is for that person who can't sit at their computer desk, whether it's like uncomfortable after a while, or, you know, they have family, or they just honestly don't, like I said earlier, don't feel like sitting at a computer desk the entire time. And this game's the games that work on this device are all solid experiences. And then, of course, if you want to exit the game, you can just honestly, just like you quit a game on PC, you can go to exit to desktop and it'll bring you straight back to the desktop. Or if you want to, you can press the menu button, go down and hit exit game, and it's like unsaved data might be lost. Yeah, let's go, continue, and boom, we're right back to the main menu. And then here is the game Chorus that I was talking about earlier. The cool thing with Chorus is that this game is actually running at 60 frames per second. I don't use a per game profile when I'm playing a game like this because it runs natively fine with the device. So, you know, you don't have to change everything. And then, like I said, with the D-pad, so it's left, up, right changes, you know, your weapons in this game. I have it set to the back of my device. So left, up, right. So like I said, while I'm controlling my ship and things like that, and I want to roll but also switch weapons, I can do that with ease with the hotkeys in the back. So there it is, kind of an overview of what this device can do and what it's capable of. Like I said, I've been loving this device as a dad and as a husband. It's the best thing that I've kind of invested to kind of go through my backlog of games. Like I said, I finished Cyberpunk 2077, a game that I haven't been able to finish yet. I just started Chorus. All the other games I kind of been playing. You know, like Slime Rancher, My Time at Portia, and Potion Permit, and things like that. Those are kind of games that I play when I want to kind of wind down and chill. Mutant Football League, fantastic game. Been absolutely loving that game. But you know, for the price of $400, this is $50 more than the Switch OLED. And it's definitely a device to get if you plan on playing through your Steam library. So I will say, you know, it is a pretty steep price, but there's a lot of misinformation going on from some YouTubers on this site. I'm really not going to name any names, but you can't get a laptop in this price range that puts out the power it does to play games in PS4 to PS4 Pro quality. So you can't get a laptop in that range that will do this. This is an all-in-one kind of entertainment machine, and it's really a steal, especially with how the handheld market is right now. If you wanted to kind of get a handheld like this a few years ago, you would be paying $1,200 to $1,500 out of pocket, and it probably would have been weaker than this device as well. So I will say, like, I recommend getting the Steam Deck wholeheartedly as a gamer. I feel like it's the best way to kind of go through your back catalog of games that you've been meaning to play or beat and you just haven't gotten around to it. Because let's face it, our Steam library is always growing. I think I have well over 1,000 games on Steam, and I probably only completed maybe 2 to 3% of the games that's kind of in my library. And the Steam Deck is kind of going to change that, and I'm really excited on, you know, what's to come and the updates that they've been pushing out, which will help with more compatibility with more games that is on Steam. Now, here are some things that I kind of wish that the Steam Deck had. I wish it had a USB slot. All you have is this one USB-C port, which, I mean, you can extend it if you get the Steam dock, the dock for it, which it plugs into there and it gives you USB ports. But I would have liked to see at least one USB port on the device itself. And that's kind of like a little bit of a nitpick, because I mean, you can use the USB-C port as a USB port, but I would have liked an actual port on the device. Another thing is that the fan can get a little loud, which is understandable because some of these games require a lot of energy to run, and that fan needs to run fast so that way it can keep the system cool. And sometimes this thing does get really hot. Like, if you're playing and when I play, it's about like this far from my face, I can feel the heat on my face. And that's another thing. Like I said, is a lot of the games that run, like, that you're going to be running on here, especially if you're running a game like Cyberpunk 2077 or Elden Ring, if you're running games like that, it's going to push this device to its limit. So it's going to be running at full power and everything the entire time. But like I said, I had 5 to 6 hours of Cyberpunk 2077 sessions. So it didn't bother me none. I made certain, you know, I was in a cool environment. And then I understand the concept of opening up a device and, you know, it voids your warranty. I totally understand that. But the way Valve has kind of marketed this is that it's very easy to fix yourself, and it's very easy to open and customize, just like any PC. So like I said, I got the 64 gigabyte model. I want to open this up and add a bigger SSD to it. But if I do that, it will void the warranty. Now, I'm a tinkerer, you know, I can repair devices and I can go through things and fix things up, no problem. But, you know, it would suck if something happened and, you know, something happened to the device that's outside of my control that I cannot personally fix, and I can't send the device into Valve to fix it. That would be the only thing that really that's another thing that's kind of, you know, understandable, but I kind of wish it didn't happen, kind of thing. Like let's say something happened with my chip, right? My GPU or CPU in the device, and I had to send it in. I wish those parts were under warranty by Valve. Other than that, I can fix the buttons, I can fix the case, I can add new RAM in here, I can add a new fan in here. That's all easy to do. But one thing is whenever you're working with, you know, chipsets like this, if anything happens to that chipset, I would really like to be able to send it back in and get it fixed. But that's it. That's kind of like my initial impressions of the device and what I think of it. I still have a lot more to play and a lot more to tinker with on this device. 5 weeks isn't even enough with it for me because I've just been enjoying it. I haven't like been testing untested games or anything like that. But if y'all want to see me test some games, let me know below, and if I have it in my library, I'll be more than happy to test those games and show you how it operates. But other than that, thank y'all so much for watching this video. Sometimes when I make videos like this, I feel like I'm rambling, but it's my honest impressions, and it's things that I talk about and I'm passionate about, and I hope y'all stuck around for the ride. And yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, evening, night, whatever time it is, you know, that you're watching this. I hope it's a wonderful one. And then I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.